All right. Hello, Nickie. Hello, Lauren. I'm excited for this today. Coffee Talk. I don't know how many weeks we've done this now. This has got to be like 6 or 7. So I feel like Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk.
I feel like I'm getting in the rhythm of this. And sometimes I forget that every week I have a new person on that's never done this before. So
yeah, we are not in the rhythm.
You're both going to do great. So, Nickie, you're on here today. This whole video is about the ways Jesus has been moving in people's lives. And so why don't you just talk a little bit about who you are, maybe the ways that Jesus has moved in your life, share a little bit of your testimony, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Nickie, and there's a shimmy. I have 3 little girls. Samantha, who's not really little.
She's a little sassy little
Yeah, she is a sassy little thing. I have Haley and Faith. And I actually started coming to Fairview, I think in April is the first, like, I think my first experience, backtrack. I've been here before because my sister-in-law came here. So there would be periods of time where I would like just come visit. But I think actually what made me like come and want to stay is I came on an Easter Sunday and I saw like all of the baptisms that were going on, and I was like, this is really cool. Like, I want to be a part of this. This is awesome.
That's awesome.
But a little bit about like my testimony is that I actually grew up like in Christian church. I grew up going to Christian school. Like, I heard the word of God, my whole entire life. But it wasn't until I hit maybe the age of like 31, 32, and I'm 36 now, that I really took it seriously, and I really was at a place where I was like, God, I just can't do this without you. Like, I've tried to do it without you for so many years, and I just can't. Like, I surrender. I need you. But I think coming here is what has really made me like grow in my faith even more. So it's been really awesome being a part of this. Yeah.
So you came around in the spring, and then you started singing on the worship team. When did you start doing that, and why?
I started singing on the worship team, I think in June. And it's so funny how it happened, because I knew that there was like a calling on my life to like be part of worship. Like, it was something that I've always wanted to do, but it's also something that I was really afraid of as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I have really bad stage fright.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I just was like, I cannot do this. Like, there's no way that I can get up on a stage and do this. And I sat with you at the welcome lunch, and my sister-in-law was like, Nickie sings. And yeah.
Oh, really?
And so, but I'm actually really happy that it happened in that manner and in that way, because had she not said anything, like, maybe I would have just like, tried to hide in the background and continue to not do what God was calling me to do. So I'm really happy that it happened in that way. But I just always felt like a strong calling in my life to do worship. And I just always felt like it was in my heart. Even, like many years ago when I was a little girl, I knew that I could sing maybe at the age of like 7 or 8. And so when I was a little girl, but I wouldn't tell anybody that I could sing.
Just in the shower, like,
yeah.
I did that.
I was like really quiet about it for so many years. But I would sit and I would sing church songs. Like, I just feel like it's something that's always just been in me, and something that I always knew that I wanted to do. And again, like, I felt that calling from God, but it was just about me, like, being like, all right, God, like, you got this. And whether or not I do have stage fright, ooh, come on, skills.
That's probably the best record.
This is amazing.
Wait, we gotta
I
take
can't
a
even.
photo.
Yeah.
Show the camera.
That's great. I got a heart.
Right away.
That's awesome.
All right,
this
anyway.
looks really good. Anyway,
We were talking about stage
I'm
fright.
sorry.
No, you're good.
We got really off track there.
So whether you
What
had
was it?
stage fright or not is what you were talking about.
So whether or not I have stage fright or not, like I always know that God is going to do it for me. Like even now, like there might be times where I might get up there, I'm feeling a little nervous, I'm feeling a little, but without fail, like God gives me the tools to be able to minister to people, and I think that that's an amazing thing, and you know I'm so happy about that, and all I can do is thank Him every time, you know, every time that I'm up there, because I wouldn't be able to do it, you know, without Him giving me the strength too.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you've talked a lot about your personal growth with leading worship. Lauren, how have you seen Nickie grow as a leader of the ministry? How have you seen her grow into leadership and really taking ownership in that ministry as well?
Yeah, like I met Nickie, like you said, at Welcome Lunch, and I remember we did her audition, and she was like, you were like super nervous.
Yeah.
And like your voice was a little shaky, and I remember
Yeah.
going to Dave, worship director, and like we were just debriefing after, and I was like 100% like she needs to be on the team. And I was like, just like give her a minute, like I can hear like there's a voice in there that like she needs to be leading, but like we're gonna have to give her a minute. And then I remember, what was it? It was at Fall Fest, and like I had you leading, and I had Kai up there with you to like help lead you, and then she ended up being like a little sick, and then so like it was like fully on you.
Yeah.
And then but
Yeah.
like it didn't like scare you at all, like even like watching services, like I was running around doing all this stuff, but I remember I was like running to like go fix something, and running past like you singing, and you like said like, come on, and I was like, oh, she's like doing it. I'm like, oh, she's like fully leading this, like this is amazing. I am out of a job, let's go. And this is great. And so like I like was like, okay, we're fully in it, like she's ready, she's doing this. And I think it's amazing like how you stepped up in that moment, like seeing like there's a need, and you were like, all right, like let's go, let's do it. And then even like this past Sunday, like one thing that's been like really like my prayer for like our team is that like worship looks the same on and off the platform.
Yeah.
And this past Sunday, like I got to sit with you, like I wasn't on the platform, you weren't on the platform, but I like saw you just like you were with your kids, and I was like, I'm gonna sit next to Nickie.
Yeah.
And we were worshiping, and I look over, and you're just like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's in it. And I was like, that's like such an answer to prayer, like to know that like you're here and you're leading and you're a leader and you're in it. Like you're not just like putting on this performance on the platform, but like your worship looks the same on and off. And that's something that like on Sunday I felt like I was gonna cry, because I was like, man, like I've just been like waiting. Like I think our worshipers do a really good job of that, but like I was just like right next to it, you know what I mean? And I think like our team is going into this next, like we're growing, like we've got a massive vocal team that we've like had to add a position, and like I think we're in this place where like I think we're just like waiting for like what's next. Like I feel like we're just constantly like, all right, we're good now, like what's God gonna do next? And I think like it's really, I don't know, it's really special and really exciting to like know that we're all kind of there together, like just expectant for what God's gonna do, like within our team, and within our team, like through our team with the congregation. So that's just, I am really happy that you're a part of it. Like your energy on stage, it's just, I remember, I think it was like your first time leading on the platform, and you like during one of the songs, you like, one thing like we really try to tell like our team is like, all right, interact with each other, like don't make it like you're just like facing forward the whole time, like look at each other, you're there worshiping together. And you like looked at me and you were like laughing during one of the songs, and I was like, oh fun, like we're having fun. But like like I just think that you're just like a refreshing personality up there, and I love it. I love having you. But
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I think you've been growing so much in like the short time that you've been on, and I'm really excited to see what God's gonna do.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I belong. I feel like I
Yeah.
belong up there.
Great.
And I love, like, at the end of service how you say, like, you belong here. Like, there's never been a moment where I didn't feel like I didn't belong here.
That's
And I
good.
feel like that's such an important message.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you two both obviously spend a lot of time thinking about worship, leading worship, practicing songs, learning songs. Why is worship so important to each one of you? Not why is it important as a whole, but personally, why is it important to you guys?
Yeah. You go ahead.
Oh, man.
Big question.
That is a big question. But I think worship is so important to me because in the moments of life where I really needed to feel the presence of God, like listening to worship music or even just singing a song myself is something that really brought me peace. And I can think of many moments in my life. I can think of a very specific moment where I think I was maybe like 21 and I was so depressed. I felt like so broken. But somebody sang a song, and in that moment I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. And so that's why it's important to me, but that's why I also do it, because I also want to be like God's vessel to help bring somebody peace, even if it's just for a moment's time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like in that same kind of idea, like all of my big, like most tangible like encounters with Jesus have been in some kind of worship setting. Like, for example, like the time that I really like got saved, I was 16, and like I had grown up in church and whatever, but like I never like fully understood like what it meant to like follow God. And I was at 16, you know, I'm in high school.
Yeah.
Getting invited to parties, getting invited to do things that I probably shouldn't be doing with people that I probably shouldn't be doing them with. And I remember in like worship, it was like Build My Life, and it said, and I was just in that time where like I was like, why is this like worth it to follow God? Like what makes it worth it to say no to all these things that like I want to do? And obviously like at that point it was like silly stuff, but like why does it make it worth it? And it was like we sang Build My Life. And it just like those words of like worthy of all the praise we could ever give, like and you just kept saying worthy. And I felt like God was just telling me like I'm just worth it. Like I'm so good. I am faithful. I am just. I am fair. I'm a father to you. Like I'm just worth it. Like that's just who I am.
Yeah.
And that was like the moment I got saved. And then so many other moments in my life where I just felt like Jesus was speaking to me through worship. And I don't know, I think that I want to help facilitate that for someone else, because I know of so many like big moments of my life that were like I got to experience Jesus through music, through worship, and I want to help give that to someone else. And I think that like I can tell you like exactly where I was, exactly what song was playing like the first time like I lifted my hands in worship. And I remember that feeling of just like I'm like letting everything go, like everything that's going on in my life doesn't matter right now, like it's just me and God. And so I think like more than just like singing, like I want to teach people like that's what you can have with Jesus in a moment of worship. And so I just want to help other people experience that.
Yeah.
That's great. And God speaks to everyone in different ways, right? And so like for me, conversation is like one of the big ways that God speaks to me, through people that I care about, people that love me, or people I don't know even sometimes. And so I think what God's speaking to me through this conversation is that it doesn't matter your fears. It doesn't matter if you feel like you deserve it or not. God's called us to something, and it's important to take steps towards that. And when we do that, something feels right. Something feels like we belong when we're walking in God's calling on our lives. So yeah, so thanks for sharing, Nickie. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing, Lauren, your story, your piece of it. I appreciate it. I hope this helps somebody who's listening.
Yeah. Us too.
Thank you.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.